I remember everything about that Tuesday. The sky was gray. Rain kept hitting the windows of the 20th floor. I'd been with Innovatech for 27 years. 27 years of my life poured into that company. I wore my navy suit that morning, the one I always wore for important meetings. I thought we were discussing the Q4 campaign strategy. I was wrong. Richard's assistant called me at 9:30. "Richard needs to see you in conference room B, 10 o'clock. Her voice was too careful, too soft. I should have known right then. I grabbed my laptop and my coffee. I walked down that hallway like I'd done 1,000 times before. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. My heels clicked on the polished floor. I nodded at people I'd worked with for years. Some of them looked away. I didn't understand why. Not yet. Conference room B was small, cold. The kind of room they use when they don't want anyone to overhear. Richard was already there. So was Jennifer from HR. She was holding a folder, a manila folder with my name on it. That's when my stomach dropped. "Sarah, please sit down," Richard said. He smiled. It didn't reach his eyes. I sat. I put my coffee on the table. My hands were starting to shake. I folded them in my lap. "I'll get right to the point," Richard said. He leaned back in his chair, relaxed, like we were discussing lunch plans. "We're restructuring the marketing department, moving in a new direction. We need fresh perspectives, fresh energy. Fresh. That word hung in the air like poison. "I don't understand," I said. My voice sounded small. "My numbers are strong. The last 3 campaigns exceeded every target. I just brought in the Caldwell account." "This isn't about performance," Jennifer said. She used her HR voice, calm, measured, rehearsed. "This is about the future of the company. We're pivoting to reach younger demographics. We need people who understand that world, who live in that world. ... People, not me. I wasn't people anymore." "You're firing me," I said. It wasn't a question. "We prefer to call it a mutual parting of ways," Richard said. He actually said that, with a straight face. "We're offering a generous severance package. 6 months' salary, full benefits during that time. And of course, we'll provide excellent references. 6 months' salary, for 27 years of loyalty, for the nights I stayed late, for the weekends I worked, for the family dinners I missed, for the promotions I earned, for the company I helped build from a startup into a powerhouse." "How old are you, Richard?" I asked. He blinked. "I'm sorry? How old are you?" "I don't see how that's relevant." "You're 38, I said. "I know because we celebrated your birthday last month. I bought you that whiskey. The expensive one you like." "Sarah? I'm 52, I said. "Is that the problem? Is that what fresh perspectives means?" Jennifer jumped in. "This company has a strict non-discrimination policy. Age has nothing to do with this decision." "Of course not," I said. I was surprised by how calm I sounded. Inside, I was screaming. "It's just a coincidence. Just like it was a coincidence when you let Linda go last year. She was 55, and Tom, he was 57. Richard stood up. "I think we're done here. Jennifer will walk you through the paperwork. We'll need your laptop and security badge before you leave today." Today. I had to leave today. No time to say goodbye. No time to pack up my office properly. Just out. Gone. Invisible. "I'd like to think about the severance package," I said. "You have 48 hours, Jennifer said. "After that, the offer drops to 3 months." They were rushing me, pressuring me. They wanted me to sign before I could talk to a lawyer, before I could think clearly. I stood up. My legs felt like water. "I'll be in touch." I walked out of that room with my head up. I didn't cry. Not there. Not where they could see me. I went to my office. My assistant, Katie, was waiting by my door. Her eyes were red. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "I just found out this morning. They wouldn't let me warn you." "It's okay," I said. It wasn't okay. Nothing was okay. I had 2 hours to pack 27 years into boxes. Katie helped me. We didn't talk much. What was there to say? I took down my awards, my photos. The plant Linda gave me when she left, the one I'd kept alive for a year. I wondered if anyone would water it after I was gone. Security walked me out at noon. A young guy I'd never seen before. He carried my boxes. He didn't look at me. We took the service elevator, not the main one. They didn't want people to see. Didn't want it to be awkward. The rain had stopped. The sun was trying to break through the clouds. My car was in the parking garage. I put the boxes in the trunk. I sat in the driver's seat. And then, finally, I cried. I cried for the job I'd loved, for the career I'd built, for the version of myself who'd walked into that building this morning, thinking she was secure, valued, important. She was gone now. I didn't know who I was anymore. The next few weeks were dark, really dark. I don't like to think about them, but they're part of this story. They're part of what made me. I didn't tell my husband right away. Mark was traveling for work. I texted him that night. "Hey, something came up at work. I'll fill you in when you get home." When he got home 3 days later, I was still in my pajamas. The boxes from my office were still in the car. I hadn't opened the curtains. I'd been sitting on the couch, scrolling through job postings. Every single one wanted 5 to 7 years of experience. Not 27. They wanted someone who could bring energy and innovation. Code for young. "Sarah?" Mark's voice was worried. "What happened?" I told him. The words came out flat. Empty. He held me. He said all the right things. "They're idiots. You're brilliant. You'll find something better." But I didn't believe him. At night, I'd lie awake. My mind would race. 52. I was 52 years old. Who was going to hire me? What was I going to do? We had a mortgage, college tuition for our daughter, retirement to think about. The severance would only last so long. I started applying for jobs, dozens of them. I updated my resume 17 times. I paid someone to make it look modern, young. I left off the dates of my early jobs. I took down the year I graduated college. I tried to hide my age on paper. It didn't work. I got rejections, or worse, silence. The few interviews I landed, I could see it in their eyes. The moment they saw me walk in the door. The moment they realized I wasn't what they expected. I was too old, too expensive, too much. One interviewer actually said, "Wow, you've been in the industry a long time." Like it was a disease. I started to hate myself. I looked in the mirror and saw everything they saw. Gray hair, lines around my eyes, a body that wasn't young anymore. I thought about dyeing my hair, getting Botox, lying about my age. Mark caught me crying in the bathroom one night. "I'm invisible," I told him. "I used to matter. Now I'm just nothing." "You're not nothing," he said. "You're Sarah Jenkins. You're the smartest person I know." They're wrong, all of them. But it didn't feel that way. It felt like they were right. Like I was obsolete. Like the world had moved on without me. And I didn't have a place in it anymore. 6 weeks after I was fired, I was in a coffee shop. The same one I used to go to every morning before work. I couldn't stay home anymore. The walls felt like they were closing in. I ordered a latte. I sat by the window. I watched people walk by with their briefcases and their purpose. I wanted to scream. "Sarah?" I looked up. Maria Flores. I hadn't seen her in almost a year. We'd worked together at Innovatech. She'd been the director of operations, one of the best I'd ever worked with. Then she was gone one day. They said she wasn't a culture fit. I'd meant to reach out, to check on her. But I'd been busy, too busy. Now I had all the time in the world. "Maria," I said. I tried to smile. "It's good to see you." She looked at me, really looked at me. "You got fired, didn't you?" I don't know why I said yes. Maybe because I was tired of pretending. Maybe because she'd asked it so bluntly, like it wasn't shameful, like it was just a fact. 2 months ago, I said. Richard called it a mutual parting of ways. Maria laughed. It was a sharp sound, not happy. That little prince. Let me guess. Fresh perspectives? New direction? Word for word. She sat down across from me. She didn't ask. She just sat. They got me last year. Same speech. Jennifer from HR. Same manila folder. I was too direct. Not collaborative enough. Translation. I didn't smile and nod when Richard had stupid ideas. They're replacing us, I said. All of us. Anyone over 40. They're bringing in kids fresh out of college, paying them half what we made, calling it innovation. It's cheaper, Maria said. That's what it is. And they think we're too expensive, too set in our ways. We sat there for a moment. Two women who'd given everything to a company that threw us away. The coffee shop buzzed around us. Young people on laptops, students with textbooks. Everyone had somewhere to be, something to do. You know what makes me the most angry? Maria asked. It's not that they fired me. It's that they made me feel like I deserved it. Like I was the problem. Like my experience was worthless. Yes, I said. The word came out like a breath I'd been holding. Exactly that. But we're not the problem, Maria said. She leaned forward. Her eyes were bright. Fierce. They are. They're idiots who don't know what they're losing. And you know what? I bet we're not the only ones. What do you mean? Think about it. How many women like us are out there? Women with decades of experience. Women who are brilliant at what they do. Women who got pushed out because some insecure boy decided youth was more important than competence. I thought about Linda, about Tom, about the others I'd watched leave over the years. A lot, I said. Exactly, Maria said. A lot. And what are they doing now? They're probably sitting at home like you were, thinking they're worthless, thinking it's over. Isn't it? No, Maria said. The word was hard, certain. What's not over, not unless we let it be. Something stirred in my chest, something I hadn't felt in weeks. It wasn't quite hope, not yet, but it was close. What are you saying? I asked. Maria smiled. It was the first real smile I'd seen from her. I'm saying, what if we stopped waiting for someone to hire us? What if we built something ourselves? Something where experience matters, where being 50 isn't a liability, where we get to decide who's valuable. You want to start a company? Why not? We know how to do this. You're one of the best marketing minds I've ever worked with. I can run operations in my sleep. We have the skills. We have the knowledge. We have nothing to lose. We have everything to lose, I said. But even as I said it, I was thinking, really thinking. Starting a company is risky. What if it fails? What if it doesn't? Maria asked. Sarah, we're already at the bottom. We're already invisible. We can only go up from here. I looked at her. This woman I'd worked with for 5 years. This woman who was too direct, too competent, too much for Richard Sterling's fragile ego. We'd need capital, I said. We'd need clients. We'd need a team. So we find them, Maria said. We start small, we build it right, and we show every person who threw us away exactly what they lost. I felt it then. The thing I'd been missing for 2 months. Purpose, direction. The future I couldn't see suddenly had a shape. Okay, I said. Okay, let's do it, I said. Let's build something. Let's build something they can't ignore. Maria reached across the table. She took my hand. We're going to burn their world down, she said, and we're going to rise from the ashes. I squeezed her hand back. For the first time since that Tuesday morning in conference room B, I smiled. Really smiled. They'd tried to make me disappear. They had no idea what they'd just created. Maria and I met 3 more times that week. We didn't meet at coffee shops anymore. We met at my kitchen table. We spread papers everywhere. We made lists. We argued. We laughed. We started to believe. We need a name, Maria said on Thursday. She was drinking her third cup of coffee. It was almost midnight. Mark had gone to bed hours ago. Something strong, I said. Something that says we're not going away quietly. Maria tapped her pen against her notebook. She'd always done that when she was thinking. Phoenix, she said suddenly. Like the bird, the one that rises from the ashes. I felt something click into place. The Phoenix Collective. Yes. Maria wrote it down in big letters. Not a company, a collective. We're building something different, something where everyone matters. We registered the business that Friday. It cost $300. We split it. Maria's husband thought we were crazy. Mark was worried, but supportive. Just promise me you'll be careful, he said. I promised, but I wasn't planning to be careful. I was planning to win. The first problem was money. We both had severance, but that was for bills, for keeping our families afloat. We needed startup capital. We needed equipment, office space, marketing materials, a website that didn't look like we built it in 1997. We could take out loans, Maria said. Use our houses as collateral. No, I said. The work came out harder than I meant. I'm not risking my family's home. Not for this. There has to be another way. We decided to bootstrap. We'd work from home, use our own laptops, build the website ourselves, keep our overhead low until we had real revenue. It wasn't glamorous, but it was smart. The second problem was bigger. We needed a team. Maria was right. The two of us weren't enough. Marketing and operations could only get us so far. We needed other skills, other perspectives. We need tech, Maria said. Data analysis, something that sets us apart. I knew exactly who we needed. Lena Petrova. Maria looked up. The data scientist from Innovatech? Yes, they laid her off 8 months ago, said her salary was too high, said they could hire 2 junior analysts for what they paid her. Can we afford her? We can't afford not to have her, I said. If she'll even talk to us. I found Lena's number in my old contacts. I stared at it for 10 minutes before I called. What if she said no? What if she laughed at me? What if she was happy now, working somewhere better? She answered on the third ring. Hello? Lena, it's Sarah Jenkins from Innovatech. I don't know if you remember me. There was a pause. I remember you. You sent me flowers when they let me go. I had. I'd forgotten about that. It seemed like a small thing at the time. Now I was glad I'd done it. I need to talk to you, I said. About an opportunity. Can we meet? We met the next day at a restaurant downtown. Lena looked good. Better than good. She'd cut her hair short. She was wearing jeans and a sweater. She looked relaxed in a way I'd never seen her at Innovatech. I'm freelancing, she told us after we ordered. Mostly contract work, data modeling, some consulting. It's fine. It pays the bills. But it's not what you want, Maria said. It wasn't a question. Lena smiled. It was sad. No, I want to build something that matters, something big, but no one wants to pay for that anymore. They want quick fixes, cheap solutions. They don't want to invest in real innovation. I leaned forward. What if I told you we're building something different? A company where experience is valued, where we do things right, where we have the time and space to create something revolutionary. I'd say that sounds too good to be true, Lena said. But she was interested. I could see it in her eyes. Maria pulled out her laptop. She showed Lena our business plan, our vision, our goals. Lena listened. She asked questions, smart questions, the kind that made us think harder about what we were doing. You're both operating on severance and hope, Lena said finally. You have no clients, no revenue, no track record as a company. That's true, I said. But we have something better. We have 50 years of combined experience. We have connections. We have a hunger to prove everyone wrong, and we have each other. Lena was quiet for a long moment. She drank her wine. She looked out the window at the street outside. People walking past with their busy lives, their normal jobs. They told me I was too expensive, she said softly. A 25-year-old kid replaced me. He had a master's degree and enthusiasm. He knew all the trendy buzzwords, AI this, machine learning that. But he didn't understand the fundamentals. He didn't know how to ask the right questions. We need you, I said. Not someone like you. You. I can't take a salary, Lena said. Not at first. Not until you have revenue. We'll give you equity, Maria said. 20%. You'll be a partner, a founder. Lena looked at us. Really looked at us. Two women she'd barely known at Innovatech. Two women asking her to take a massive risk. To bet on something that might fail. 30%, she said. And I want final say on all technical decisions. Maria and I looked at each other. We didn't need to speak. We both knew. Deal, I said. We shook hands across the table. The three of us. 3 women the corporate world had thrown away. We were going to show them what they'd lost. Chloe Davis was harder to find. She'd been the HR director at a tech startup. They'd fired her 6 months ago. The official reason was budget cuts. The real reason was that she cared too much about people. She'd pushed back when the CEO wanted to eliminate parental leave. She'd fought for better mental health benefits. She'd made things uncomfortable, so they got rid of her. Lena found her through LinkedIn. Chloe was working part-time at a nonprofit now, making a third of what she used to make. But she was still fighting for people, still trying to make things better. We met her at a park. It was a Saturday morning, cold but sunny. Chloe brought her dog, a big golden retriever named Sunny. He matched her personality. I've heard about what you're building, Chloe said. She threw a tennis ball for Sunny. He bounded after it. It sounds amazing, but I'm not sure I'm your person. I'm HR. You need sales. You need clients. We need heart, I said. Every company says people are their most important asset. Then they treat people like they're disposable. We want to be different. We want to build a culture where people actually matter, where being human isn't a weakness. And we need someone who knows how to do that, Maria added. Someone who's done it before. Someone who won't compromise. Chloe watched Sunny run back with the ball. She smiled. They fired me because I wouldn't compromise. I told the CEO that people aren't machines. You can't just push them until they break and then replace them. He said I was too emotional, too soft. You weren't soft, Lena said. You were right. And he was an idiot. Chloe laughed. It was a bright sound, full of life. I like you guys, but I need to be honest. I'm scared. I'm scared to take another risk. I'm scared to believe in something and watch it fall apart again. So are we, I said. Every single day. But we're doing it anyway. Because staying scared is worse than failing. Chloe threw the ball again. Sunny raced after it. We waited. I could feel my heartbeat. We needed her. The Phoenix Collective wasn't just about winning contracts. It was about proving that there was a better way. And Chloe understood that better than anyone. Okay, Chloe said finally. I'm in. But I have conditions. Everyone gets paid fairly. Everyone gets respect. And if we ever start treating people the way they treated us, I walk. No matter how successful we are. Agreed, Maria said immediately. Then let's do this, Chloe said. She grinned. Let's build something beautiful. Sunny barked like he was agreeing. We had a team. Now we needed a client. Just one. One person willing to take a chance on 4 women and a big idea. I made a list of every contact I had, every person I'd worked with over 27 years. I sent emails. I made calls. I had lunches. I told everyone about the Phoenix Collective, about what we were building. Most people were polite, interested. They said things like, "That's great," and "Keep me posted." But no one was ready to sign a contract. We were too new, too risky, Too unknown. 3 weeks passed, then 4. Our severance was running out. My savings account was getting smaller. Mark didn't say anything, but I could see the worry in his eyes. Maybe we should get regular jobs, I said one night. Maria and I were on the phone. It was late. I was tired. I was starting to lose hope. No, Maria said. Her voice was hard. We're not giving up. Not yet. Something will break. We just have to keep pushing. The break came from the most unexpected place. Katie, my old assistant from Innovatech. She called me on a Tuesday afternoon. Sarah, I need your help, she said. My sister owns a boutique consulting firm. She needs a complete rebrand. New website, new marketing strategy, everything. She was going to hire a big agency, but they want $80,000 and 6 months. She doesn't have that kind of time or money. Tell me more, I said. My heart was beating fast. Katie's sister was named Jessica. She'd built her consulting firm from nothing. She specialized in helping small businesses grow. She was smart, passionate, successful, but her brand looked like it was from 2005. She was losing clients to competitors who looked more modern, more professional. We met with Jessica the next day, all 4 of us. We sat in her small office. We listened to her story. We asked questions, and then we pitched. I talked about strategy, about understanding her market, about positioning her as the expert she was. Maria talked about execution, about timelines, about delivering on time and on budget. Lena talked about data, about tracking results, about measuring success. Chloe talked about culture, about the story we'd tell, about making her clients feel valued. Jessica listened. She took notes. When we finished, she sat back in her chair. How much? She asked. $30,000, Maria said. Everything included. New brand identity, new website, complete marketing strategy, 6 weeks. It was less than half what the big agency wanted, and we'd do it in a quarter of the time. But we needed this. We needed to prove we could deliver. Jessica looked at us. 4 women sitting in her office. 4 women betting everything on themselves. When can you start? She asked. I wanted to cry. I wanted to jump up and scream. Instead, I smiled. Monday, we shook hands. We signed the contract that afternoon. $30,000, our first client. Our first real proof that the Phoenix Collective was more than just an idea. We celebrated that night. The 4 of us. We went to a cheap Italian restaurant. We drank wine. We laughed. We talked about the future like it was real. Like it was something we could touch. This is just the beginning, Maria said. She raised her glass. To the Phoenix Collective, to rising from the ashes, to proving them wrong, Lena added. To building something that matters, Chloe said. To us, I said, to 4 women who refused to disappear. We clinked our glasses. The sound rang out, clear and bright. It sounded like a promise. It sounded like a battle cry. We had no idea how big this would become, how far we'd go, how much we'd change. But sitting there at night with my 3 partners, with our first contract signed, I felt something I hadn't felt since that day in Conference Room B. I felt powerful. I felt visible. I felt alive. They'd tried to erase me. Instead, they'd set me free. And we were just getting started.